What's up, world? This is me once again, brother Prestige Leverett Jr. here with another brief metaphysical message. Glad you took a little bit of time out your day to hear a message coming directly from me. Mind alignment, wake up your stolen greatness now out. And I'm glad you sticking with me and hearing up my different messages. I want to get deeper into the education. I want to give people things that they can actually use to be able to change their mind, to be able to create the reality that you want to see. I'm not saying you're going to be rich and famous or anything like that, but I bet you'll feel better if you take some of these techniques that I'm telling you and possibly even read this book and learn some of these techniques in here. So today the message is the mind. The mind can either be your best ally or your worst enemy. That's a quote that I seen earlier. Your mind can be your best friend or your mind can be your worst enemy. Now, what do I mean by that? So let's just think about this for a moment. You have over 70,000 thoughts a day. 70,000 thoughts a day running through your mind, different things that you may not even be aware of because some of these things are subconsciously being imprinted in your mind and have just come out naturally. You might not even pay it much attention because your conscious mind is more so worried about the things that you have to do throughout the day, your routine, your habits, whatever it may be. So what that means is that all day long you are thinking, all day long your brain is running. So what is the actual way that it is running? They say that the way that the mind becomes your worst enemy is when the mind is untamed, when the mind doesn't have a sense of direction. It's easy for it to get out of control and take on its own meaning to things and its own perspective based on the reality and the environment around you. So the mind has to be actually controlled. We have to be the driver and put ourselves in a position to actually tell our minds and our brains which direction we want to go. If we're not programming our minds, someone else is doing the programming for us. And this can be media, this can be parents, this can be old programming, this can be friends, this can be cousins, whatever it may be. Somebody else is running the show if we don't actually get in there and take control of it and really whip it. You know what I'm saying? We got to really whip our own mind and think of our own thoughts and come up with what we really want. Now, everybody always say that, and you hear that all the time. Think positive, don't think negative. Negative thoughts play a role as well. Negative thoughts gives us a clue to what we need to change in our world. Negative thoughts gives us a clue to our biases. Negative thoughts give us a clue to our habits. So it's almost like a boxing match between positive and negative. Now the negative, you're sparring with it, so you're going hand for hand with it. And sometimes when you get out of hand and let it control you, it will knock you down. And that's when the depression kicks in. That's when the anxiety kicks in. That's when the frustration kicks in. That's when the doubt kicks in, because the mind is actually kicking your ass if you really want to be real about it. So you have to be able to take control and stand up to it and stand up to your mind and let it know that, okay, I see you there, but I'm going to hit you with one of these. A positive thought. I'm going to hit you with, yeah, I can do that instead of I can't do that. And this is how you have to do it. This is how you have to work with it. So the mind is the brain is a muscle as well, so it has to be exercised. That's why they always say repetition is key. So let's get into some of the ways that you can actually win against your mind, against this sparring match, and make your mind on your side instead of against you. Because your worst enemy can be your mind if you let it run itself and you not whipping. So the main thing to do is, one of the ways is to imprint it. So what do I mean by imprinting? Imprinting, if you look it up in psychology, is basically how a memory is stored in our brains. Now, the way to change certain memories or put new imprints into the subconscious mind is by getting the mind at a certain frequency. Everybody talking about frequencies. Everybody talking about vibes. No, we talking about brain wave frequencies. We talking about a certain way your brain is frequency your brain is at when you're in certain states of mind. They call it theta state. Theta state is like the border state between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Now, what do I mean? Like, this is where you can play with the subconscious mind when your mind state is in the theta state. Theta state is like meditation. Theta state is like deep relaxation, but not quite sleep yet. That is theta state, and that is where you can influence your own mind. So how do you influence it at that time? So you do meditations that have subliminal messages. Subliminal messages are only heard underneath the conscious mind. the subconscious mind, as opposed to the conscious mind. The conscious mind paying attention to the tones, subconscious mind paying attention to the subliminal messages that are positive affirmations that go directly towards your mind. So what does that do? Over time, when it's repeated and repeated, what it does is it changes the inner talk. It changes the thoughts that you think within on a daily basis while you're at a conscious state. Another way to do it is make sure that before you go to sleep, always have a request. Always have a request for your mind or answer you want to get, because at this point is where you get into the deepest part of your subconscious and be able to pull out solutions for what you need to do with your world. So at theta state, that's where problem solving happens at. That's where solutions come at. That's where the intuition is. That's where the deep part of our creativity that artists and other people say they tap into. But just the average day-to-day person can do this as well through meditation with binaural beats or meditation with certain tones with subliminal messages behind it, putting you in the theta state, which then will create a new inner talk that will then change the way that you look at the world, your perspective, your habits, and beliefs. I'm just breaking it down real quick for you. Once again, my name is Prestige Leverett Jr. Mind Alignment, Wake Up Your Stolen Greatness. We got the children book on the way, Amir's Hidden Superpower, a book about mind power. And this is another great technique that I want to suggest. 369, Nikola Tesla 369 method. What it is just basically you just remove any possible distractions at that time, and each day you write down your goals, your actual goal. Write it out with a clear statement in the present tense 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times in the evening for up to 45 days. It will help with your manifestation. That's just another tip. Got any questions, let me know. Mind Alignment, Mind Alliance University. Thank you for listening.